Hey everyone, Two-Tone back with some more Master Duel Spyral gameplay, this time again in Platinum Ranked. I'm against a DDDDDD combo deck, and I'm playing the Danger Dark Grepher Spyral package. And I'm going second, right? Usually when I show any of my gameplay videos or even my combo tutorials, they're assuming you go first, right? And they often are, games where I don't get interacted with very much. Or if I do get interacted with, I have like a god hand, right? This is a pretty good hand, but it's not like ideal. There's no Magician Souls in it. There's no Dark Greph or Danger combo in it, so I don't even have my best starters. And my opponent's going first with a combo deck that I can't interrupt. I've got no hand traps in this deck. The only going second cards I run are Forbidden Droplets because they're discard outlets. And that's kind of important for a deck with like Master Plan in it or Destrudo. And my opponent plays Jack in the hand, which gives me three options. I chose DD7 Kepler. I actually don't want any card in my hand, even though like I could use some of them for a Link Ribber or something, because I have Nessie, and with Nessie I want to discard either my Master Plan, my Rescue Mission, or even my Quik Fix, so I can revive them with the other spells. So I get the card that's a Pendulum card, so I can drop in my Pendulum Scales and forget about it. I don't want this card in my hand. So my opponent's doing the regular DDD combo. I admittedly know very little about DD decks. I know they're like very combo line intensive and like they're heavily creature based and like they're very recursive and they set up pretty solid boards going first, especially if you don't interrupt them. And they're usually resilient to interruption as far as I know because like so many cards in the deck recur other DD cards. But I couldn't tell you what any. If you named me a card, I couldn't tell you what it did except for a handful. So like as he's playing these cards, I'm like, okay, this does this, this does this. This card just recurs material. This card, does this. I know what Halka does. It's going to go get him another card. But, so the only real thing I'm doing here, because the nice thing about not having any hand traps to worry about is I don't need to know what the choke point of this deck is. I just have to see what his end board is and go, okay, I got to deal with this, this, and this, right? And that's one of the things you got to do right there. Crystal, Wing, Synchro, Dragon, blah blah blah. It's a monster negate that destroys on negation, and it gains attack based on the attack of the destroyed creature. So that's one card you have to worry about. And he's still comboing off. I think it's getting close to the end of the combo. He's like going to get his pins set up, and then he's going to pin summon, and then set up one more piece of interaction on the board. Yeah, there's his pins. I don't know anything about pin cards. Their tech boxes are so long and they don't really matter that much. But as I'm playing the game, I don't even read the names of the cards. I just like start reading their effects as he goes through them. Like, okay, does this matter? Does this matter? Does this matter? And they don't really. Like, this is just a card that recurs value. Gets another DD card back on the field. Hooray. And there we go. That is my opponent's turn. Let's draw my 7th card and, dissect his board. Because I don't, I didn't have any interruptions, so I have to break it on my turn. The old-fashioned way, by comboing. So my opponent's got this card, which negates a face-up spell trap card on the field. So you can like start pairing up cards that they know you're going to get answered by, right? This card is going to negate this big red. No matter what I do, like there's no card I play besides Resort that is worth negating from this guy because everything else kind of activates in the graveyard, and so they're not face-up on the field. So I can just go ahead and cross big red off of my list of things I can do. Then he's got this guy, which again is a monster negation. So I can assume at some point he's either going to use this on Quik Fix or Nessie. If he uses this on Master Plan, that'd be great because it would get her in the graveyard. But so I can assume like these cards are probably the liabilities here for that. He's got a Crystron Halka, which I don't know which card he can go into, but I know he's going to go into Formula Synchron. That's the usual Halka line. And then Formula Synchron is going to go into another monster that is interaction with one of his other Synchros after he's already used their negates, right? So I can assume Spell and Trap negate, Monster negate. I'm going to assume Omni interaction at this point. A pop or a negate or something, because it's hard to plan for anything else. And then I can assume maybe this is a card that does something, right? He's got one card in hand. Who knows what it is? He drew it randomly earlier. So we're just going to play and see what happens. So Quik Fix is the only starter in my hand I really want to play. I don't want it discarded, so he's going to Ash it. So one extra interaction that I wasn't planning for. I was expecting this guy to eat the Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, but that doesn't happen, so I just have to deal with it. But at least my Quik Fix on the field is material, which is nice. So he's going to play Formula Synchron as I expect, draw a card. Hopefully it's not like a Nibiru. I'm going to go into Link Kuriboh because this is going to set up my Quik Fix in the graveyard for my Big Red. Because if he negated my Quik Fix once, this represents another Quik Fix activation. He's probably going to negate it again. This is where I think my opponent messed up. Like, the only thing that Quik Fix does in this deck is, besides get cards that you combo with later is get a Big Red to extend the combo. And I've already used Big Red. It's a once per turn. So I don't think my opponent should have used this effect here, but I think he does it so he can Formula Synchron with it, just get it out of the way. I play this to get it out of my hand. I'm going to drop Nessie, and I get a good discard. Discarding Rescue is ideal, right? And then, well, Magician Souls is probably the best card I could have... Maybe not the best card. I think a Dark Grepher would have been better, and, a Reinforcement is the same thing. And maybe a Spyral Resort, because I could start comboing with that. But, this is pretty good. It's going to get a Master Plan in the graveyard that I already have a Rescue mission set up for. So I might as well go ahead and Special Summon that. Drop Nessie to try to get Master Plan in the graveyard. He's just going to go ahead and negate it, right? He doesn't know when he's going to use this again, I guess. I've already played most of my cards. And that's fine by me. Probably should have saved it for Magician Souls, but we'll see, right? So I'm going to bring my Master Plan back and start doing my loops. But he has even further interaction. He's going to go into Synchro Monster that double pops. I did not know about this card. I didn't know this is what he goes into. But I don't care. I think maybe he was afraid that I was going to have some kind of rank 7 creature, because these are both 7s on the field. And some versions of this list, this Spyral Danger list, do run like Galaxy Tomahawk, which can get you a whole slew of material monsters that you can go into like other Link plays. So maybe that was the right call in the blind, but all it did was trigger my Master Plan. So now I get a Resort and a Sleeper. I was going to trigger her anyhow, so it doesn't matter, but he could have blown up a different card. So I'm going to go into Resort, get my Super Agent. Now, the reason I go into Super Agent at this point is, with one more extension, I can pretty much combo off completely, right? If I can get this card on the field off his own effect, because I've already guaranteed my normal summon, I think I've got him, right? Because I don't have any other, recursion in my graveyard, so I can't get another Master Plan on the field. I could go into like a Cerberus or something and start blowing up cards, but, the best course of action for me here is to get Super Agent on the field, because that will turn my Quick Fix back on. So I'm going to call it, and the one thing I can tell about this deck is it sure runs a lot of creatures. Like every single one of these cards has a creature effect. And I didn't go look it up, but I could have, because playing this combo out, I was really stressed for time. I ended up with like 50 seconds. Clearly, this is a creature-based combo deck. Most Pendulum decks are. So I'm just going to go ahead and call Monster, see if I can get lucky. And I got it. It was probably like an 80% chance at that point, but you got to do what you got to do. So I'm going to go ahead and use my Quick Fix now that I've got a Super Agent. And we're off to the races. This is going to be full combo. I just get this card to discard with Magician Souls. I even discard my Resort because he's got no more interaction. And I get pretty dead draws, right? I was going to recur this last Resort anyhow, so it's a bad draw. And this Dark Grepher is nothing. Like, I can't Special Summon him. I can't Normal Summon him. So I go ahead and go into Princessprite. I actually don't need this Foolish Burial to break his board at this point. Sleeper plus linking up into Nightmares with Quick Fix would do it. But now that I've got this, I can play a much safer line and demonstrate even more cards in the deck. I'm going to Foolish Burial Destrudo, a very powerful card. Everyone is probably familiar with it because it's so powerful. But you can Special Summon it. It's a tuner. You can go to Halka Fibrax, and Halka Fibrax is going to get me probably my favorite piece of tech in this deck, Jet Synchron. Jet Synchron is another discard effect, and it's a Borreload Savage Dragon in a bottle. So I'm going to use Quick Fix again, go into another card, Jet, I'm just going to use this as discard fodder at this point. Going to go into, with Halka Firebrax and Princessprite, a Nightmare Unicorn. This is to get rid of the last little piece of interaction he has on his board is this Satellite Warrior, right? If this card is destroyed, he can start special summoning other cards. And I don't want to deal with that. I don't know what, I don't want to have to like go into his graveyard and start reading and like, it's not worth it for me to like deal with this card. So just use Unicorn at this point. Get rid of it. Now that I've got 2 Spirals on the board, I can go into Helix. And I know the top card of his deck because of Agent. So I'm just going to go ahead and pop this off. Call Monster. Get Master Plan back. And Master Plan's going to get me another card. It's going to give me a Rescue Mission, more Recursion. At this point, I'm just going to go into Borreload Savage Dragon, right? Like, I don't know if, like, maybe he's just sitting on a Nibiru and he's waiting for me to break more of his board because he doesn't want a Nibiru while he's got all these creatures on the board. I'm just going to go ahead and go in Borreload Savage Dragon and nip this in the bud, right? If he has any interaction left in this one last card, it's now dead to an Omni Negate. So now this is just going to let me recur my Jet Synchron, which is going to discard Rescue. Rescue gets Master Plan, and, like, you can see, Jet Synchron got me into Borreload Savage Dragon, and I still have the same 2 cards on the field, right? I lost absolutely no material on the board because these cards are so recursive. And at this point, they're doomed, right? I get a Mission, Rescue, just another card that I can discard off a Nightmare effect. This is why the Nightmares in the link-up strategy is so powerful in Spyral, and it's one of the reasons why it used to be a Tier 0 deck. It abused the Nightmares the best. until Orcus came around. So discard that, get Rescue Mission, get Master Plan, use Master Plan effect, just get an Assault. Why not, right? Just play it. I'm playing a Sleeper to break his board, might as well get some card draws out of it. So I'm going to go into an Access Code Talker, the ultimate board wipe OTK king, going second. And I've got a lot of links in the graveyard, so boom. Blow it up. Blow it up. Doesn't do anything. Drop my Sleeper because I want to blow up one more card. Might as well get a card draw out of it with Assault. And he concedes, right? He's got nothing left. I've got him beat. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was a not too uncommon Spyral hand. You know, some dangers, a way to get to Quik Fix. You've got, you know, resorts and terraformings to get there. And a little bit of luck, which is key to Spyral. You know, if you're playing cards like Super Agent, sometimes you can just spike a little luck or, you know, an informed guess, right? I probably still could have mostly broken his board without that agent. I could have linked up into some more nightmares and then still drop my Sleeper at any point because I had the whole Sleeper combo. But, you know, that one little piece of extension with a little bit of luck let me completely go off. You know, I had a complete combo board. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I thought that was a really interesting look at, you know, how you break a board as Spyral going second, even though you don't have like hand traps or, you know, traditional board breaking spells and traps. I hope you enjoyed that. Put any comments in the description if you want. Have a great day.